And we are live. Welcome. Welcome to Finish First Financially's live stream on YouTube. Obviously, I also post these episodes onto the different podcast platforms. Goran Radanovic here. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of Finish First Financially's live stream. Yesterday, I didn't do a live stream because I was busy with my vending machines. So I had to tend to that. Then by the time I finished everything, it was just a bit late for me to do a live stream. And I had so much to do yesterday. So I apologize for not having done one. But back here, Tuesday, 7 a.m. That's the goal each day, Monday to Friday, to do them. But obviously, sometimes I'm not able to. But most days I do it. And today I wanted to talk about finances as it relates to your dating life. And let's be honest, in today's day and age, if you're not able to provide, well, that's pretty much applies to most generations, then you're not really seen as very attractive to women, to most women. Now, sure, there are some who are going to have more money than you, who still love you for the person that you are, the way you make them feel, or there's just something about you. You're funny, you're charming, you're really good looking, you take care of yourself physically and so forth. That's they kind of overlook the finances and give you a chance to get your act together. But even those women, most of them, are looking for you to have at least potential, at least ambition, at least some kind of movement, action towards that goal where you're trying to sort out your finances. They don't want to be the breadwinners. Most women don't want to be. Sure, there are some, but most don't want to be because they feel like they're stepping out of their role. Do you want to, as a man, stay at home and look after the kids and not work, not make money, not be productive? That's what a man does. That's what a man is supposed to do, to provide for his family. It's like you want your wife to cook for you, you want her to clean. Okay, so be it. She's fulfilling her role. Then you need to fulfill your role as a man and provide for the family. And that's just the way it is. And I think most men, most people, most couples are happier, and they usually last longer. Their relationships tend to be more successful when they are playing out their roles, when everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. So you expect your woman to cook, okay, and then you work and you make the money. That's kind of a combination that goes well together. Now, a woman can also work and they can cook if they want to. That's just depends on the type of relationship, the type of dynamic that you've set up in your relationship, and that's up to you. But the point is that, especially as a man, you need to be making money. That's it. It's as simple as that. Not only for your family, but for yourself, to feel like you're a man. Your role as a man in society is to provide for your family. That's what it is. And you might say, well, I don't want to have a family. I don't want to have a wife. I don't want to have children. You still need to make a living. You still need to support yourself. You're not a real man if somebody else is looking after you like you're a little child. Look after yourself, become a man. And that requires you to have an income, to live by yourself, to create something of your own. So even if you're not doing that right now, you're not in a position to buy a house. Let's say you've got bad credit or whatever your situation is that's preventing you from buying it. You don't have enough money to put down for a deposit. At least work towards it. I think when you work towards it, you feel progress. You feel more excited because when you are hitting at something and you're really trying, you're knocking on that door, you eventually see progress, and then that motivates you to carry on. But you need to go in that direction. Now, that action, as it pertains to dating, actually makes you attractive to women. Even if you don't have your act together yet, the fact that you are ambitious, the fact that you have drive, you have a goal that you're working towards, is what makes you seem attractive. If you're sitting on the couch the whole day, you're not doing anything, you're not productive, you're not making money, a woman is going to think, what use do I have for this man? Sure, he might be good looking. Sure, maybe he's great in bed, whatever it is. But that novelty wears off. And they get used to that. They might feel great if you're so good looking that, when you walk down the street, other girls look at you and she feels great that she's with you. Yeah. But then at the end of the day, you're not contributing to the household financially. And eventually she'll lose some, if not all, attraction for you. So you need to have your act together financially. And whatever that means for you, we're all at different levels. Some men might think that they're doing great if they're not in debt and they've got savings. I think that is doing great. Some might feel that they're only doing great if they're rich. Some might feel that they're doing great if they're able to meet all of their debt payments every single month. So it's all depends on what you deem to be as financially successful. Just keep in mind that your level of financial success, in most cases, this doesn't mean this is always the case, but in most cases, it determines the kind of quality woman that you can attract. That's just simple. If you say to me a woman doesn't care about money, she's not a gold digger. I can tell you that almost every woman does. Of course they have to. It's like us as men saying that we don't care about their age, we don't care about their looks. Like, come on, man. Of course we do. Of course we care about the way they look. Of course we care about their age. I would much rather go out with a 20-year-old as opposed than a 40-year-old because I value youth as opposed to women who are in their 40s. I don't value that to be attractive. The same way women find men who have sorted out their financial lives more attractive and who have money than those ones who haven't. And that's just the way it is. And that's normal. You should just come to terms with that. And the thing is, they're allowed to have that standard. They're allowed to have that preference. And so we as men, we are allowed to have that preference as well. So I don't understand, why some men want to try and recreate the system. It's like, oh, I don't have to have money to have dating. Yeah, sure. You might, if you're really charismatic and you're really good looking, you might be able to get women, but it's not going to last. Eventually, the thing is, when a woman, the reason most women want you to have money is because, first of all, they don't want to take care of you. And in many cases, they want you to take care of them, even if they've got their own money. So it comes back down to the roles. It's biologically wired. It's how women feel, the same way we as men feel about their youth, about their physical appearance. And that's normal. That's just normal. And there's going to be people who are going to say, no, this is the new world. It's not like that. Listen, don't give me that garbage, all right? We as men, we're going to value what we value, and that is youth and beauty. And women will value men who are ambitious, who are tall, who have their financial house in order, who can be protective, who are providers. That's fine. That's just the way it is. We accept it and work towards being that man, or you can try and create your own system, which is not going to work, and you're not going to date the woman that you want. So even women who have money won't expect you to have your finances in order for the reasons that I mentioned. And also, it's not just the the money per se that you need to have, why they are so attracted to men who have money, who have sorted out their finances. It's also because it says a lot about you. When you don't have any debt and you've got money, well, you've got a different mindset than most people. You've got more drive than most people. You've got more ambition. People are attracted to successful people. And that's one of the reasons they love rich men. Some are materialistic, sure, and all of that. They don't care about the fact that you had to work 12, 13 hours a day, 6 days a week to get to where you are. They don't care about that. They just want to be seen in a nice car. Sure, there's that as well. Absolutely. But it's something that's been biologically wired into them the same way it's been biologically wired into us to find young, fertile, attractive women attractive. And that's really what it is. And I think you're going to do, I'm talking about finances as it pertains to dating, but really when you sort out your finances, and as I mentioned to you, whatever that means to you is up to you, you're going to feel differently. I think this is the biggest thing, because even though I'm talking about dating, that's really just a byproduct. It's just one of the benefits, I suppose, that happens is once you sort out your finances, obviously your dating life improves. But what it really comes down to when you sort out your finances is that you're improving yourself. So this is all about you at the end of the day. And all of these other things, these benefits that come along are just, the bonuses that are really great. But it all starts with you. So when I was homeless and I was heavily in debt and I didn't have any income and no savings, I felt like less of a man. I was still the same person. I think I was more humbled than ever before, but I didn't have that confidence because if I wanted to take out a woman, how was I able to take her out? Where would I meet her? I mean, I was living in my car. What do I say to, and how do I even take her out on a date when this car was broken? Couldn't even drive it. So all of those things affected my confidence. And once I started solving my financial problems, that's when my confidence got a boost, because I felt that I was getting closer and closer to my goals. I felt like I was achieving something. I was productive. I was a valuable member of society as opposed to just taking up oxygen. And when you build confidence, it's shown on your face. It shows on your posture. It can be heard in your voice. It's seen in your eye contact. And people respond differently to that. Women respond differently to that, as opposed to a guy whose shoulders are slouched, who's talking softly, who can't make eye contact with them, who just doesn't portray any confidence. It's not attractive to women. And the more confidence that you've got, which can be acquired through improving your financial situation, the bigger chance you have of being successful in dating. And that's really been proven to me in my own life. Because when you go out with a woman and she asks, what do you do? And now, for most men, they'll find it embarrassing to say, I don't have a job. Because you immediately think she's not going to be interested in you because you have a job. So you're ashamed of it. That's one of the reasons. Or when you start, even if you have a job and then you start going into a financial discussion, and she finds out that you have debt and you don't have savings, that can, emasculate a man, because you're supposed to, as a man, you're expected to have your finances in order. And again, if they're not, you immediately think, oh, she's not going to like me. She's probably going to look for someone better. So maybe I shouldn't even discuss this topic. Sorry, it's so hot. I'm sweating here. And once you start talking about that, you start to lose confidence, because you're not there, you're not at the level where you want to be, and it just doesn't feel great. It's not a great feeling, and you want to be able to attract the type of woman that you want, but you're only going to do that at the very least if you're working towards your goals, if you are moving towards them. But when you're not, when your finances are in shambles, then can you really expect to attract a woman who has her finances in order, who is out of debt, who has savings, who's got a great career? Why do you deserve a woman like that? If she's worked hard at her career and she's maintained her job for 6, 7, 8, 10 years, and she's saved up money and she's not going into debt, don't you think that she deserves someone who's on the same caliber as her, someone who's on the same page, someone who's got the same mentality as her towards money? I think she does. And the same applies to you as a man. If you've sorted out your finances, why would you go for a woman who's just spending like crazy? And in some cases, she's spending other people's money. It's not even hers. I think that's, well, usually we take for granted what's not ours. But I think it's especially bad when she's just maxing out her credit cards. And what do you think is going to happen if you guys had to get together? She's going to take your credit cards, because your money is her money, your money is our money, and her money is her money. That's how they view it. Most women do. And so now that I mentioned that, the better your financial situation is, going back to what I said, the better partner you're going to attract. And I don't mean that just from a physical standpoint. We're talking about, let's say, a man attracting a woman who's got his finances in order. That doesn't just pertain to her physical beauty, but it also pertains to her mentality towards money, her money management skills. So if you have sorted out your finances, then you have every right to look for a woman who's also sorted out her finances. You deserve that, because you've proven that you're a good money manager, and you should be with somebody who's a good money manager. Why would you want to risk your money on somebody who hasn't proven themselves financially? You've worked on yourself, so it's only fair that you get somebody who's also worked on themselves. Now, I've written an article on finishfirstfinancially.com. By the way, just remember that everything I say is purely for entertainment purposes. It's not financial or investment advice. I just relay my experiences and so forth, and you can do with that information whatever you please. That's up to you. I don't tell people what to do. I just share my experiences, and I'm going to go to finishfirstfinancially.com, and let's check out this article. Do finances impact your love life? So I wrote this in March this year, and I said, your finances impact everything, including your health and definitely your love life. To have a significant other, you need to spend money on a date and even more money during the relationship. If you're looking for a spouse, finances are likely to come up during the first date so you can screen the potential partner to determine if you two are on the same page. Since most women want a man who earns more money than them, gentlemen, you have to improve your finances to find a great woman. The amount of money you make usually dictates the kind of partner you can have. That's the cold, hard truth. It doesn't mean that all women are gold diggers, but they are entitled to expect their husband to finance the entire family if they choose not to work. That's just I was talking about those roles. But obviously, when I said they're entitled to expect their husband to finance the entire family, that goes hand in hand with them fulfilling their wifely duties. Then if I'm going to provide for the entire family, then I expect you to take care of the kids. I expect you to cook. I expect you to clean. I expect you to massage me. Those are my expectations because I'm out there working to finance your life, my life, our life, but then I want something in return. So I think that's a fair trade. Now, of course, in exchange for the husband's money, the man will have expectations in return. What that is varies from one man to the next. Let's look at some statistics to see the effect money has on relationships and marriage. Average salary in the US. In 2022, the median male salary was $52,000. For women, it was just under $40,000. By comparing these numbers and accepting that most women want a man who earns more than them, we should not have a marriage crisis. Yet we do. Marriage rates are declining globally. One of the biggest reasons that many women want a man who's making 6 figures a year or more. But the problem is that only 17% of all men in the US make $100,000 or more. That percent includes married, homosexual, and emotionally unavailable men. If you're looking for a man from that 17% who's straight, single, and available, that number decreases significantly. Just think about how rare that man is. Even if a woman finds a man such as that, it doesn't mean that he will be interested in her. I think it's safe to say that we have a serious dating problem because of finances, especially because more women have begun to out-earn some men, making their pool of potential partners even smaller. So because most women want a man who makes more money than them, and now many women are earning more than men, they're struggling to find partners whom they want. So the solution is there are two options. Women can choose to be with a man who earns more than them, but less than $100,000 a year. Or men will need to earn more so they can at least reach the 6-figure per year threshold. It doesn't seem like most women are relaxing their criteria to be with a 6-figure man. That means men will have to earn more if they want to find a high quality woman. So once you start making 6 figures or more, most women, even if they're making 30, 40,000 a year, you'll find them they're wanting $100,000 man. But if that's you, you don't have to go for them because there are other women who are more attractive than those who are making 60, 70,000, whom you'll be able to choose from because you have those options since you're making a good income. As men begin to earn more, their options in women increase. Going from a $50,000 annual income to doubling it means that men will be able to choose women who previously weren't interested, that a man will be able to choose women who previously weren't interested in him. So, you get women who are, let's say, making $70,000 who are not interested in men who make $50,000. Now you go to $100,000. All of a sudden, you've got the option to be with that woman. Now she's all of a sudden finds you attractive. You might not find her attractive then because, finances are so important to her that she won't settle for somebody who makes just a bit less than her. But the point is you'll have that option because she'll be interested in you just purely based on your income, let's say, excluding all the other factors. If it was just purely based on income. Limitations. As a man, not having money limits the kind of life you can provide for a woman. And for women, not having money means that they may not be able to get their hair done, buy attractive clothing, or travel to another city or country if they are unsatisfied with the potential partners where they live. Men who have money are attractive to most women. It's not just that these men can buy women certain possessions, but their financial situation indicates that they are ambitious and have sorted out their lives. Which woman doesn't want to be with such a man? I mean, just think about it. Talking about a guy who sorted out his life as opposed to a guy who's sitting on the couch doing nothing, not being productive, not making any money. That guy's just not attractive. It's like to us men, women who, most of us guys, we want younger women. We don't want to be with an older woman. We don't want. The same way women don't want to be with a lazy guy who doesn't make any money. We don't want to be with, if we had to choose between a young woman and an old woman, we will go for an young woman. That's what we like. That's what we prefer. And we have every right to choose that. We have every right to have that preference. The same way that women have a preference for a 6-foot guy as opposed to a 5.7-foot guy. That's their preference. So be it. Our preference is to go for a young woman. Finances in a relationship. If you've sorted out your finances and you don't cheat on your partner, what problems can you have in your relationship? So think about that. Infidelity and money problems are usually the two biggest causes of divorce. So if you're not cheating on your partner and your financial house is in order, then you've already eliminated the two biggest reasons for the possibility of divorce. Well, I suppose something always crops up, but you minimize the chances of a breakup if you have those two aspects under control. Finances or lack thereof are one of the biggest causes of divorce. When you and your partner are struggling financially, you're limited to a specific lifestyle. You might not be able to travel, go to the movies, or even cover your rent. The situation can exacerbate when you begin to blame each other for spending money. Couple that with other problems that most relationships endure, and you've got a potential breakup divorce in the making. Everything is easier when you have money. The more money you have, the less likely you are to fight about it with your partner. Sure, even rich people fight with their spouses about spending habits, but at least they have money to fight about. Broke couples fight because of a lack of money. Now, children, as it pertains to finances. If you and your partner are considering having children, your finances need to be up to scratch. Children are expensive. In fact, children can be more expensive than adults. So you need a significant amount of money to pay for their clothing, school, leisure, entertainment, and everything else that is required to provide the best possible life for them. Bills easily pile up when children are involved. When you welcome a child into your life, you need to have a significant savings account and preferably no debt. The fewer payments you have, meaning debt payments, the better life you'll be able to afford your family. Ideally, you should have $100,000 in savings before your child is born. I know that's a lot of money. Most people don't have that much. The reason I mention that amount is because your child may require special needs lifestyle or surgery. It can happen to any couple. The last thing you want is not to have sufficient funds in such a case. I've seen it happen, and it's a tragic situation. So obviously, most people who have children don't have $100,000 in savings before the child is born. That's just the reality of it. That's just, that's the way it is. I'm saying to provide the best life for yourself and for the child, the ideal scenario is to have that $100,000 in savings. Because as I mentioned, in the article, I did read, there was a situation where a neighbor of mine needed a lot of money to have surgery for his child. And he scrambled around the neighborhood, trying to find this money, try and source it, crowdfunding, but it didn't work out. And unfortunately, the son passed away. And that's just nobody wants to be in that situation. Obviously, if people are only having children once they had $100,000 in savings, we'd probably have a lot less births. That I also understand. But what I'm saying is, try and get to that amount as close as possible, because it just makes your child's life easier and your life easier. When you know that you can provide, you can cover several emergencies for your child if they do crop up, and they can crop up for anybody. You're not immune to it. I'm not immune to it. You want to give your child the best chance of survival. I think that's crucial. And this is a point that many people have an issue with. They get upset when I say it. That's just how I feel. You don't have to follow that rule. I'm just telling you the rule that I'm following. It's up to other people to follow the rules that they want to follow. Okay, so final thoughts. Be upfront with your partner about your finances. Discuss it with them in the beginning so that they know where they stand and your expectations. It's never a good idea to deceive your partner about your finances. That's just asking for trouble, which inevitably avails itself in a puddle of lies. To optimize the chances of a relationship working, you and your partner need to be on the same financial page. Decide who the financially responsible person is, and that's who should manage the finances. You can work together on your budget if both of you are financially apt. Your partner should share her financial knowledge with you if they are better at money management. Learn from them and don't let your ego block your development. Once you feel that you're a good money manager, pass your knowledge on to your children. The younger they are when they learn about financial responsibility, the better. Okay, so that's quite a bit on money as it pertains to dating. I think that's an important concept.